Hello, good morning, warm welcome to your My Investment Mastery series. I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth, and today we have yet another interesting topic to discuss, learn, and probably use. So today's topic is, what are credit risk funds and how risky are they? So today we're going to look at its definition, the investment mode in it, the risk involved, the returns, and our take on what we think at Women on Wealth about it. So that's what we are going to do in today's live sharp in 10 minutes. So let's begin. So I am beginning first of all by defining what are credit risk funds. And anytime you look at me looking at my laptop screen on the right like this, then note that I'm reading the notes that I've made for all of you with love and gratitude. So beginning. So definition, what are credit risk funds? I suggest you take a paper and pen so that you can make notes simultaneously and then you don't have to watch the video again. The notes can be with you and you can refer to them anytime. So just take a paper and pen. Hi Ritu, welcome. I'm glad you acknowledged your presence. Everybody who's around, do acknowledge that you are here and we are right set to support you. Hey Deeksha, good morning. Love those hearts coming in. Let's begin. So credit risk fund, they were earlier known as credit opportunities fund. Okay, that was the name of the fund earlier. And credit risk funds, what they do is they take credit risk. So like the name of the fund, they actually take credit risk, and this is for the sake of generating more returns that they're taking the credit risk. So what they do is they will buy a company, okay, a company which has lower credit rating. So credit risk is what? Wherever a company has lower credit rating, and you are buying, okay, you're buying that company in the hope that the ratings will go up one day. When the ratings go up, then your returns are much higher. So that's the expectation with which you are taking credit risk. So what the fund manager here does is they will add lower rated papers in the hopes of generating high returns. And mostly these low rated papers give better returns, higher returns to attract buyers. And if their ratings improve in the future, then the value of these papers go up. So generally these funds are buying into debt papers, and debt papers which are below AA rating. So AAA rating is the highest. So that's there the credit risk is very, very low, and AA is the second highest credit rating where there is a credit risk involved. The companies are not well known. You are buying into these papers which lower ratings, and the hope is that you generate more value as the prices of the papers go up. So what happens is 65 to 100% of the money of this debt fund is invested in low credit rated papers. So AA rated papers, say minimum of 65% money and maximum of 100% money is invested there. And it is compulsory for all these debt instruments to get the credit rating from agencies like ICRA, CARE, CRISIL. Somewhere or the other the rating will come from. Okay. The risk involved here is high, okay, because there is this credit risk that the papers are taking, the fund manager is taking. So when the fund manager is taking that kind of risk, there is high credit risk involved. The interest rate risk is not there. The interest rate risk is low to medium, because anyways whatever interest is being promised will be given to you. Default, there is a risk of default because of course the credit rating is low here. So there is a risk of default. There is also the risk of the credit rating going further low. So while you may have bought the papers expecting that the credit risk will improve and the credit rating will improve, but actually it could be that the rating comes down. So that's the kind of risk involved. And with that risk, that's why we're saying the credit risk is very high. Also, sometimes the liquidity risk can be high, because if the funds are not very popular, then when you are selling such funds, you may find issues in selling them. So, and if the credit rating is further downgraded, then it may become a little difficult for you to sell. So there is credit risk, there's liquidity risk, very low interest risk, but these are the risks which are pretty much involved. On an average, the returns are high on a 3-year, 5-year period. But because the risk is so high, so it makes me wonder if there is a point in buying such credit risk funds. If you have to buy such funds where you are willing to take risk, then why not go into equity? Because anyways, you have the 3-5-year period horizon. 3-5-year time horizon. So why not then jump into equity funds or direct equities is my understanding, because I get the returns will be better with the little bit of risk, but then isn't the case the same for equities is what I wonder. So, and then, again, the returns are very, very highly dependent on the fund manager and how and what due diligence they're conducting, how much low credit rating they're going for, which funds they are selecting, and will those funds move forward. Again, nobody knows the future, right? So nobody knows the future. We are taking the risk, and that too in debt funds, 3 to 5-year time horizon. And these are the riskiest debt funds in a way. And I just wonder if there is a need for so much dependence on a fund manager, if we really need to invest our money here, if we really need to take such higher risk. Investors who are seeking a steady income and you want your risk factor to be minimal, then this category is not for them. So I am not clear as yet for whom this category belongs. Who is the real target audience here? I don't see a point to these funds. I would prefer equity mutual funds or direct equities any day compared to these funds. This is my personal take, and rest completely on you. Please start typing. What are you learning? What have you understood about the credit risk funds? Bhagya, Yadu, good morning. Welcome. Please start typing. What are you guys learning? Ritu, Diksha, Yadu, Bhagya, and everybody who's here. I think many more women are here, but you guys have not acknowledged your presence, it seems to me. Okay, Yadu is saying she agrees, don't get why this instrument was even created. Yeah, I mean, it could be my lack of understanding also, Yadu. So as of now, I'm not seeing the point of it. Hi, Liba, welcome. Suchika, good morning. So everybody who's been around, start sharing. What are you learning? What are you understanding? Credit risk funds, do they make sense for you? How, what? I also think learning about such funds is important. It's really critical to know what not to buy. For me. And like for stocks also, I did the same thing. I mean, 99.9% stocks, 99% mutual funds are not worth investing your hard-earned money in. So I think for me, it has always worked to see what is it I shouldn't be looking at. So yeah, just thought I'll share. Yadu is saying always research thoroughly on how different funds function, the audience, etc. Yes. Yes, Yadu, what not to buy? Absolutely. Love those thumbs up. Sayali is saying, this sounds super exciting to me. Got that. And everybody, thank you for sending in all those loves. I can see many hearts coming in, which is really warming my heart too. Bhagya, if anyway risk is there means we can go to equity. Absolutely. Okay, Rajeshwari, you joined in late. Perfect. Please watch in the video. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for learning. Rewatch the video if you need to. Else, I invited everybody to take paper pen. So I trust you have notes. Go over the notes and see if this fits your financial portfolio, if this fit your financial goals. Ritu is saying equity investment is better. Anyways, if already we are ready to take risk, then why not in equities? Selection of funds with careful study will help. Lower liquidity risk there in equity. Absolutely, Ritu. Okay, Yadu is saying she's shared the video. Thank you so much, Yadu. Thank you for standing with us in the mission of moving the work of financial education for women around. Thank you so much. I want to share something before I leave. Just yesterday, I was leading a session with many new women, and I asked them how many of them were knowledgeable investors. And in that big room of women, I think there were at least over 50 women in that room. Not even one woman raised her hand or said that she was a knowledgeable investor. And if this is a small sample size that I'm talking about, I know. But if you go out in the larger society, you will notice similar stats exist. Not many women are taking charge of their finances, and most of them, 99% of them, don't even, they're not knowledgeable investors. So, again, yesterday I got present to how important this work is and how critical it is for us to spread it so that more and more women have the opportunity for financial skill building. On this note, I'm closing this live. Deeksha, thank you so much for sharing this video. Loads of love, everyone. Take charge, stay safe, keep coming back for making 1% improvement in your money life. With 1% improvement a day, you become 37 times better with your finances in 1 year time. Remember that. And I see you tomorrow right here on the Facebook page of Women on Wealth for the decoding of the Economic Times newspaper. Loads of love. Thank you, Ritu, for sending in your love. Take charge, everyone. Stay safe. Bye-bye.